Soon morning came. Bridget lay there and thought, I want to die. I don't want to get up. I better get up and get something to eat before they get up. Bridget forced herself out of bed. Bridget quickly and quietly tried to get some food and drinks. Bridget prayed, please God, don't let me wake them up. I am sorry for every sin I have ever committed. In Jesus' name, amen. Soon Bridget had all she needed. She went to her bedroom. Once she made it okay, Bridget prayed, thank you for letting me make it in Jesus' name, amen. Bridget sat the food on a nightstand. She looked at her sisters and they were lying in bed. Bridget did not want to wake them, so she got back in bed. Bridget was pretty tired, so she fell back asleep. After a little bit of sleep, Bridget was woken up by her dad and her stepmom. Bridget was stressed out by the knowledge that her stepmom lived there now. She looked around the room and thought, what are they doing? Oh, they are going to work. Thank goodness they will be gone. And Bridget watched them drive away. This made her feel happy. Bridget ran to the doors to lock them all. Once they were all locked, she felt happier. Bridget woke her sisters up by saying, girls, they are gone. We need to get cleaned up and eat before they get back. And the girls woke up instantly. After getting cleaned up and eating, Bridget told them the story and showed them the food she snuck into their room. Marana said, great job, Bridget. Bridget said, oh, it was nothing. We need to hide this in our room so we can exit as few times as possible. Kaylee said, I will go get a box as she left. Bridget said, great, before she left. Kaylee brought the box and they put the breakfast bars in there. And the girls brought as many essential things to their room as they could. They spent the day redesigning their room. They unfortunately had to turn it into a hotel room. Bridget thought about how scared she was last night to sleep because her stepmother may hurt them in their sleep. This provoked Bridget to say, we need to get a lock on our door. Kaylee said, Dad will not allow us to lock our door. Bridget said, we can do this and say we put a new doorknob on because we do not want our new stepmom walking in on us when we are getting undressed. Kaylee said, that is a great idea. The girls took a doorknob with a lock off of the door and put it on theirs, and then they put their old one that could not lock on the other door. Agus did not go to work like she said she would. Instead, she went to the woods. She parked her car and went on foot into a magical place. She walked up to her magic mirror. She said, "Magic mirror, wake up and speak to me." The man trapped in the mirror came to face her. He said, "Yes, what is it, bitch?" She said, "I did as you said, and he married me." She began to laugh. The man in the mirror rolled his eyes and said, "Yes, I did as you asked. Now please set me free from this mirror." She laughed and then said, "Fuck you." There was a slight pause. Then she said, "Magic mirror, tell me, so how do I get all his wealth without being caught killing him?" The mirror said, "There is a problem if you kill him." She said, "What problem?" He said, "Remember the premarital agreement. Bridget, Kelly, and Marana get everything. If he passes..." Agus shouted, "Oh fuck, I was so close. I know what I need to do." The man in the mirror thought, "Oh no, this is not going to end well." She said, "Magic mirror, I must find a way to get rid of those nasty girls." He did not want to give his slave owner any idea, so he sat in silence. She said, "I will pay someone to kill those girls. I will say to him, your girls need to get out more. Let them go with this person." The man in the mirror was still silent. She said, "Magic mirror, tell me someone who can get rid of the girls without me getting caught by the police." The magic mirror showed her an image of man as he said, "This is Eastern Pa. If you choose him, you will not get caught by the police." She said yes, with excitement. Then she continued, "Where can I find him?" The man in the mirror said, "He is a hitman. You can contact him over the dark web." She said, "Perfect. Now slap yourself." The man in the mirror slapped himself as she said. She laughed at his misery. In she went to the computer. He really wanted to kick her ass, but he could not. She said, "Man in the computer, allow me to enter the dark web." The trapped man in the computer came to face her. Then he connected her to the dark web. And she said, "Get me to a place where I can message him." The man in the computer made the web page she desired appear. There she began to message him. She planned date and time. Once she was done, she said, "Man in the computer, show yourself." Where he once again appeared on the computer. He said yes. She said, "Grab a knife and cut your leg." Unfortunately, he was under her command, so he did so. She laughed at him. She said, "Where are all of you people's free will?" "Oh, right, I took it away." She laughed some more. The people trapped into her objects wanted her to leave them alone. However, they knew they had no power over her. And she said, "Woman trapped to the coffee pot, get me some coffee immediately or I will be a real bitch." The woman attached to the coffee pot hurried to make her coffee. She served her immediately after she was done. Agus said, "Woman trapped to the coffee pot, take this and pour it on yourself." The woman had no control, so she did as she was told. She burnt herself badly. She made Agus laugh. She said, "Now get me another coffee, nigger twat." The woman did as she was told. Once she was done making the coffee, she served it to her again. This time, Agus took her coffee and left her enchanted slaves. After she was gone, they were relieved for a while. The woman attached to the coffee pot said, "How will we warn those girls?" The man in the mirror said, "We cannot." The woman in the TV said, "Why did that miserable cunt have to enter our lives?" The man inside the computer said, "We are some of the most unlucky people to live." The man in the vacuum cleaner said, "We were lucky, Candy, that she did not use us or abuse us today." She said, "Why, I wish the other were not injured by her." The woman attached to the coffee pot said, "Maybe someday someone will find us and free us." The man in the mirror said, "I have been hoping for that before all of you got here." The man in the vacuum cleaner was concerned as he said, "You have been here that long?" And he said, "I have basically forgotten what freedom is." The girls played for a while, then Kelly said, "Maybe we should unlock the door." Bridget felt scared, so she said, "No, we should not do that. What if they come home and hear us talking smack about them?" Marana said she makes a point. Kelly said, "Do you want them to knock on the door? And then we have to unlock it and face them. Do you want to get that close to him?" Bridget wanted to maintain as much space as she could from her dad and stepmother. Therefore, she said, "Kelly, you are right. I want to maintain all the space I can from them. I do not want them near me." There was a little pause, then she said, "Okay, let's unlock the doors." All the sisters unlocked the doors. Then they went to their room to play. The girls took turns looking out for them to arrive home. Bridget was on watch as they came home. When she saw them, she felt sick. They came home about the same time. Bridget said, "They are coming home." The other two girls were trembling with fear. Bridget said, "Let's just pray that they do not come in here." They all did that, and they continued to play quietly. The girls ate dinner in their room while the adults ate dinner in the dining room. Bridget and her sisters ate as quietly as they could. Bridget thought, "It is like being Anne Frank in the days of Nazi Germany." We have to be quiet and cooped in our own home. We are already homeschooled and not allowed to go outside. Now we cannot leave our own bedroom. This is just gross. Every homeschooler should be free to roam their own home. It is like being a prisoner inside not one but two prisons. After eating, the girls got ready for bed, then they got into bed. Bridget thought, I need to share the story of Anne Frank with my sisters. I think they would like it. No one should ever have to go into hiding. I just Agus hate me so much. She broke her own thing and blamed it on me. Who does that? I wish we could just move out. Wait, I am 16 and I cannot drive. Why has no one got my license? I should have asked about it before Dad got married. Well, I never knew I would want to move out when I was younger. Now I want to get as far away from them as humanly possible. I cannot ask for my license. What if Dad makes me drive with August? I mean, she may crash the car and blame it on me. Dad will believe her over me. He must think public schoolers are better than us. I mean, we are his own daughters. Well, everyone hates us and thinks we are stupid. I wish things were different. I wish Mum was here. She would never let this happen. Home is not where the heart is. Home is now hell. I guess we just have to suffer until we are 18. We have no choice. She began to cry. Bridget cried for a while, then she said her prayers. Finally she fell asleep.